All right, let's do a little bit of thing with the Icecaller here. Let's start out with the promotion class itself. Let's see what happens here. Chill Out now gets an extra heal on myself and a group member with lowest health. The Cool Ice Weave heals as well as restores resources, but cannot be turned into any other kind of ice once it's down. Crystal Lance causes healing based on the damage inflicted. I am not using Crystal Lance right now. I just don't have the points for it. Frost Armor heals when picked up is a nice little targeted heal that we get in here. We get to wear Mail, and we get some support power and mana from here. Okay, let's go over the basics then. We kind of have to take Freezing Blast. It's not on the bar. I don't have room for damaging abilities. Passives, obviously we take those. Frost Armor for the single target heal. Some passives in here. That 40 Constitution and health is super useful because we barely have 8,000 health right now. The Ice of Endurance with our promotion class gives a bit of a heal and also increases health by 1k for 30 seconds. It's a 36-second cooldown, so if you stay in the area, it's up a lot of the time, which is good. A little bit of extra stamina helps dodging. Obviously, we have free weaving in here, or we cannot use a focus gem. Chill Out, very important one to keep our healing buff stacked up. We have the Refreshing Breeze, which is an awesome burst heal. And then Shatterstorm, which we are sadly not using. It's a nice way to spawn some ice, but the bar is just too full for that one. Icecaller itself gives us stacks of Kool-Aid, which increases our support power, and also Ice Formation chance by 2%. It caps out at 6, so that's 12% extra chance. With a good focus gem and some int in there, you could get like 50% chance to spawn gems. It's really good. Healing Flurries is just a great heal. Heals allies, not just group members. Just a stat note here, and we specialized in the light domain to get access to Naiad, Fountain of Life and a Cleanse, and we have Pixie in here, so Chain Heal. This is I think optional of how you do this. I think Naiad kind of always the thing you want to have, but Pixie is flexible, I suppose. Alright, so far for the spec. Maxed int, and I dumped the rest into Spirit because we're missing a stat cluster here. It takes a lot of stats to get int up. The extra like 40 something points of Spirit you could also just put into like Constitution or something, maybe some crit. It doesn't matter too much. It's not a whole lot of points. Just get a bit of extra support power in here. I think that is fine. Yeah, so far for the spec. So the way this works is you kind of want to fill up your time with some auto attacks. When you have some gear on you and a proper gem, you'll be proccing this cool ice a lot. So when you're not having to heal, you'll just be attacking to spawn some of this cool ice that radiates healing and resource regeneration. Mana is very important for this class, so you have to keep an eye out for that one. You could spawn some basic ice, and you can blow that up to turn that into the cool ice as well. This ability is very vital because you want to have a lot of cool ice around to consume it, like so, to get your recycled ice buff. Because every stack of that gives you 3% healing buff. So that is the thing you kind of want to keep using on cooldown to get that buff as high as you can. If you're auto-attacking a lot with a good vessel and a good focused gem, it will be easier to keep that up, keep those stacks up to 5. But that is a thing you want to keep on doing: auto-attacking and using the Chill Out. It heals as well a little bit, and it just keeps your buff stacked up. Right, the rest of the skills, we got a little bit of Ice of Endurance action here, which is just a wave that increases the stamina and health that we just talked about. If you're engaging in a spot, you kind of want to throw that in there, right? It's 1,000 health, but it works on all friendly. So if you have 30 people in the raid, it is that's a lot of extra HP that the enemy has to chew through, right? It's pretty big. And then Frost Armor It's a little tricky targeting it on your allies, especially when they're fighting and moving, but it is a pretty substantial single target heal, or just for yourself, right? You could also just pick that up to heal. You could even make like some sort of an escape plan if you're like idle, put some frost armors behind you, and then when you gotta bail out, you just run through them to heal yourself up again. So that's reasonable. The free weaving itself you could use to put some cool ice around just to get your mana regen kicking in, or if you want to heal the team far away, then you can use it to just spawn some healing thingies for the team. Like if they're fighting far and you're not in there, you have a way of healing the guys that way. You can cover a large amount of area with these things. Some passive healing. They're not humongous heals, but they are good enough. The ult also does a heal. I cannot really show it because the target dummies don't want to get healed by it, because it only heals group members. And I've tried inviting the dummies, but they're a little bit rude. They don't wanna join the team. But yeah. It's just a regular ult, right? It removes CC, gives damage immunity, and then also heals and restores mana. Next up is the Healing Flurries, which looks something like this. It's a little bit of a rain of healing. Isn't it beautiful? I think it's beautiful. And there is a random chance of making some refreshing ice when it heals. It lasts for quite a while. And some beautiful refreshing ice. It's just a good AoE heal. Just a very solid AoE heal. Then we have the Fountain of Life, which is from the Major, which just causes some chain heal action going around left, right, and center. Bomb, 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 bomb. Just some passive healing. Also pretty good duration on that, right? Because when it runs out, my cooldown is up again. So this is a thing you can keep down permanently. It lasts for 15 seconds, cooldown is 16 seconds, right? So you get to keep that up for a while. We have the next one. It's the Soothing Winds. It targets an ally and then it chains. Targets and then chains a couple times. So just a bit of a AoE sustain heal. It changed, it chains quite a bit. It just keeps on going and going and going. So you want your friends to stay together, so this thing keeps bouncing in there. And then the coolest thing of this healer is insanity of the burst heal that we have here. It takes a while to set up. It takes a lot of mana to make this ice, but then you can throw this wave through here, and all of this ice gets turned into refreshing ice for a wonderful burst heal. That is the refreshing breeze. All of the ice turns into refreshing ice, right? And refreshing ice heals for a little bit too. Like, I don't have any gear, no stats, no nothing, so it's kind of hard to see. But that is like just a burst AoE heal. Like, we could spam that if we have the icicles for it. If we really needed some burst healing. And with our storages full, it doesn't cost mana. Once the storage is empty, it's going to drain mana quickly. But, if you need some heavy healing, you could keep spamming those for heavy AoE healing. Alternatively, you could, like during a fight, when you're a bit idle, you don't have to heal too much, like between some auto attacks and whatnot, you can put down some stable ice and then when needed, throw this thing through there. And like, it's hard to see how much that actually heals, but every single one of those stable ice turns into refreshing ice, which heals for quite a bit. It's like an insane burst heal. Trust me. Insane burst. But it costs a lot of mana and some time to set that up. And last ability that we have on here is the cleanse, which is not very fancy. Just cleanses, removes things. Not much to show there, but it helps your group to remove bleeds, most likely bleeds and poisons, but some other things as well. Gives a bit of immunities and bleed resistance. So and that is kind of how the healer here functions. I have not tried a lot of healers yet, but so far this is definitely my favorite. very intricate way of healing, a lot of things to keep in mind. Your ice storages you have to keep in mind. You have to make sure that there is some cooling ice around. You have to consume them to keep your buff up. You need to worry about your mana pool. And between all of that, you also need to worry about your allies not dying. So I think this is a very, very fun healer to play. A lot of things to pay attention to, and quite a high skill cap, I would say, on this particular healer. Depending on the situation, there is a lot of different ways to react with the healer here.